What's up, guys? We're back. We're coming to you today with a full slate of NBA basketball action here on Tuesday, February 3rd. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a huge thank you to me, guys, take that 10th of a second and slam that like button. We're playing through the end, hopefully, of this illness. I don't know what was wrong with me. Had a fever, got a sore throat going on, had all kinds of congestion going on. It's been really, really rough. But we are back after it. Me and Baby Stump seem like we are over the hill. Mama Stump is well and good to go. So everything is pointing in the right direction for the fam. So big shout out to everybody who was, putting their well wishes down there in the comments. Big shout out to all the new subscribers. And yeah, really, really appreciate everybody that's been, sending their thoughts our direction because it's been a rough few days. But make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new around here, that'll keep you from missing out on these videos that I'm posting every single day. Get down in the comments. I'll be back in the comments answering tons and tons of comments. I know I'm way behind after missing so much time being sick. Ask me any questions you've got across the sports world. I'm more than happy to get back to you down there in the comments. So really appreciate everybody that takes the moment to get down there in the comments, and make sure you're checking the pinned comment throughout the day. We're finally going to be back after it with some pinned comment picks for you guys. So definitely make sure you're checking in on those. It's the top comment below the video, and that's where you'll find my favorite picks from this entire video. And check it throughout the day just in case any sort of late breaking injury news would cause me to make some sort of change in there. In terms of a recap, obviously we have missed several days in a row, which is very, very unfortunate. Not something we've done really hardly ever before. The only game I can really give you a significant recap on is our premium NBA pick from yesterday. It was a pretty short slate. We took the Memphis Grizzlies, getting, I believe it was 6 points, and that one came out on top for us. That was a nice little win as they get the 137 to 128 straight up win there over the Timberwolves. It continues to be very, very profitable when you have teams playing the second game of those little 2-game mini series to take the team that lost in the first game to win or at least cover in the second game. That has been a very profitable strategy pretty much throughout this season. So, nice to see Memphis come away with that straight up win for us. We'll definitely take it. Now, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get after it. We're going to try and keep this video a little bit on the more manageable side since I'm obviously, not quite at 100% yet, as you can tell from my voice and just from the way my haggard appearance in the camera. But let's go ahead and get after it. First up, we got a pretty interesting game between one of the best in the West and one of the best in the East. We get the Denver Nuggets heading to Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Nuggets come into this game 33-17 on the season. They're fresh off a pretty disappointing 121 to 111 loss there to the Thunder. And it's not necessarily disappointing that they lost. It's disappointing that they, I guess it is just disappointing that they lost because really they had great chances to win that game. They played well enough to win. The problem was the Thunder just absolutely shot the freaking lights out in that game. Anytime OKC shoots 40% from 3, you're going to have an awfully hard time beating them. It was just a rough time. We saw Jamal Murray not have a great day there for Denver. Jokic didn't look quite as good in his second game back as he did in his first. The bench looked okay. Valanciunas had some pretty rough minutes mixed in there with some good minutes, and Peyton Watson continues to look like an emerging star here for the Nuggets. So that could be a big deal for them as we head, into the back end of the season and towards the playoffs and stuff like that. The Nuggets are relatively healthy given who we're used to them having coming into this game. The problem is no Christian Brown and no Aaron Gordon for this one. So we'll see what they can do in Detroit taking on the Pistons, who've obviously been excellent. They just obliterated the Nets. Not like that's that special. Lots of teams are obliterating the Nets recently, but they've won 4 out of their last 5. They continue to look like one of the best teams in the East. We'll see if they do anything here around the trade deadline. That could be pretty interesting. We'll see what happens. The injury report for them looks very, very good. Still no Karis LeVert, but other than that, they're healthy and ready to go here. They are playing at home, and that's why they're 4.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 225.5. Denver is 17-9 against the spread on the road. That's kind of crazy. They are 10-6 against spread after a loss. Detroit is 13-11 against spread at home, 17-18 against spread coming off of a win. I do think this is going to be a really good game. I'm excited to watch this game. I will lean towards the Nuggets getting 4.5 points here. Despite the Pistons being a good team, I just don't think they're quite good enough to beat the Nuggets if they're fully healthy, which they aren't fully healthy, and that's why they're getting those 4.5 points. So I think take the couple of free buckets and give me those Denver Nuggets. Next up, we've got a matchup between two teams that are tanking it out this season pretty hard. We've got the Utah Jazz heading to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Jazz come into this game fresh off of a 107 to 100 loss there at the Raptors. I mean, the Jazz aren't doing I don't know. I mean, I guess they're doing an okay tank job. They let Markkanen come back and finally play some basketball. And Shocker of the Year, who played great. We'll see what happens with him around the trade deadline. No Keontae George in this game, and I think it's going to be very, very unusual to see Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen playing at the same time here down the stretch for the Jazz, because when those two are on the floor, this team is just too good to reliably lose games, and that's what Utah wants to do right now. Keontae George and Nurkic probably both going to be out for this game. Is that confirmed? Yes, that is confirmed. They are officially both going to be sidelined here as the Jazz continue to do their best to tank out the end of this season. We'll see if they do any sort of trades to make this team worse, but they are in the business of losing basketball games at the moment. The Pacers, they're 13-37 on the season. They're coming off a 4-point loss there against the Rockets. This team has been pretty competitive here down the stretch. I really have to give them credit where credit is due. They are not bottoming out quite as hard as a team like the Jazz is trying to do. The Pacers, I think, could be in a really big bounce back next season when Halliburton comes back and Obi Toppin comes back and all that kind of stuff. But Siakam is just too good of a basketball player to reliably tank with, and Mathurin put in a really good game there against the Rockets. So we'll see what the Pacers can do. They are playing at home in this one, so that's something. Their injury report looks basically like we've become accustomed to. They are healthy with the exception of Obi Toppin, really. Everybody is rested and ready to go, and that's part of the reason they're 4.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 236.5. The Jazz are 11-12 against spread on the road, 18-16 against spread after a loss. The Pacers are 16-10 against spread at home, 3-4 against the spread on no rest. Yeah, they did play last night. So on no rest here. Looking at the numbers again, guys, I just feel like we probably have to fade the Pacers as big favorites, even here playing at home. No Nurkic, and obviously no Keontae George makes this really a stay away spot for me. I don't trust either one of these teams too much. Next up, guys, looking at the New York Knicks heading to Washington to take on the Wizards. The Knicks are 31-18 on the season. After that players only meeting, they've gone on a 6-game winning streak, so seems like they figured everything out. They're coming off a 12-point win over the Lakers. Guys like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby are playing an awful lot better once they heard their names being floated in all kinds of trade rumors. So maybe with those guys more locked in, things are pointed in a more positive direction. Shamet being healthy and just shooting the lights out off the bench was a big help in that win over the Lakers. The Knicks come into this game relatively healthy. Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson both being on the injury report definitely doesn't help what is already a relatively thin bench unit. McBride will be out due to ankle injury management, and kind of the same deal there with Mitchell Robinson. So not going to be incredibly healthy as they head to Washington to take on the Wizards, who are obviously terrible, but they have won 3 out of their last 4. They're coming off a 4-point win there over the Kings, so seems like they can't help but try and win some games here. In that win over the Kings, let's keep in mind it was the Kings, we did see Washington shoot 42% from 3. That's going to make it a lot easier to win some games. Chris Middleton played really well. We liked what we saw from Marvin Bagley. He seems like he's healthy and ready to get after it again. We liked ourselves from Will Riley, A.J. Johnson. So there's some pieces on this team that can put up some numbers if given the opportunity against some bad teams. So we'll see what they do in this one. They're relatively healthy, the same as what we've been used to seeing. No Trey Johnson, but other than that, they're ready to go here. They are getting 13.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 226.5. The Knicks are only 7-15 against spread on the road. They are 9-12 against spread after a win. Washington, they are 12-13 against spread at home, 4-8 against the spread after a win. So that is a little bit concerning. Neither team is playing on the front half of a back-to-back, so there's no rest implications necessarily. So I do actually think maybe I'm being a little bit of a victim of the moment kind of situation, but I will take the Wizards here getting 13.5 points. The Knicks just aren't a great road team. I think we see them take their foot off the gas a little bit in this one, and I think the Wizards can make this at least something of a real basketball game, but also, let's not get too involved in this one. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers heading to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Lakers are in a bounce-back spot. They've actually lost 2 of their last 3. They're coming off a 112-100 loss there at Madison Square Garden. Luka had a pretty big night. LeBron also played pretty well, but they did not get a whole lot of help out there. A lot of trade rumors swirling around the Lakers, so that doesn't always result in everybody playing great. They didn't look amazing on the boards. That's not very helpful. Austin Reeves did not play in this game, so they haven't had him out there. Definitely a lot of room for improvement here for the Lakers. We'll see if there's anything they find a way to do at the trade deadline. I mean, I'm not super optimistic about anything they could necessarily do. Austin Reeves dealing with that calf issue is questionable for this game. The last time we saw him play was against Houston. He played 15 minutes, had 12 points. He was pretty good out there. So I think there's a chance he could come back, but maybe not for this game. It might not be super necessary as they head to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Nets have been pretty terrible recently. They're 13 and 35 on the season. They're getting just obliterated a lot of the time, like they did against the Pistons. That was a pretty bad look. Cam Thomas, come on, bro. 12 points, 4 of 10 from the field. I just don't have a lot of good things to say about this team in general right now. They're very successfully tanking things out at the moment. We'll see what they could potentially do around the trade deadline. It does appear Michael Porter Jr. will be good to go for this game. Noah Clowney will be out, so they're going to be relatively healthy. They're getting 8.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 222.5 in this one, so not the craziest total necessarily. Once again, we don't see either team in the front half of a back-to-back or anything like that. The Lakers are 15 and 13 against spread on the road. They're 13 and 5 against spread after a loss. The Nets are 12 and 11 against spread at home, 19, 14 and 1 against spread after a loss. I think this is a pretty great spot to take the Lakers here. I think they're going to win this one pretty much walking away here. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of a fight from the Nets. They are playing at home at least, but the Lakers are just so good coming off a loss. I think we see LeBron and company really take care of business in this one. Hey guys, before we jump in and break down the Atlanta Hawks heading to Miami to take on the Heat, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. You can click the link in the description or just type StumpTheSpread.com into your browser of choice to get over there, and that's where you will find the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college basketball picks. It's a great time to dive in over there at stumpthespread.com. So many different sports going on right now. You get excellent value for your membership. It's a great resource if you're looking to step it up in your sports betting journey. It really is a team of experienced guys over there. Every single one of them has over a decade's worth of experience covering their given sport, and they know stuff about sports I know nothing about, like hockey, you name it. Like, I am also not the premium handicapper over there for like NFL, college football, NHL, like all that stuff. We have experts, and that's why the picks in the premium picks usually will not match what you see from me here in the videos. So definitely worthwhile to get over there and check out all the premium stuff at stumpthespread.com. I haven't been super locked in on what the results have been over the last couple of days, but with the amount of work that they put in on a daily basis on every single one of those premium picks, I am more than willing to wager that they have been on a pretty good run because they are really putting in the work on a daily basis, and it saves you an awful lot of trouble, and they can come up with information that just regular people just cannot come up with. So definitely consider signing up for a premium membership over there at stumpthespread.com. But you got to get over there and check out all the free stuff, guys. There's free picks every single day under the free picks tab. They just had Syracuse, I believe, as the college basketball pick. Syracuse getting a whole bunch of points, and that one ended up cashing as the free pick on Monday. There's a different free pick under the free picks tab every single day, at least one. There's also the free email newsletter, which has been an absolute insanely valuable treasure trove of information, cashing just a crazy amount of different golf bets over the course of the first couple weeks of the PGA Tour season. It's been insane, cashing a 33-1 underdog very recently on the guy who is supposed to lead after the first round. So definitely get in on that email list. It's a treasure trove, absolutely, of incredible sports betting information. There are regular free picks in there as well, but all those golf write-ups have been absolute gold. There's information on tennis. I know the Australian Open, I believe, has been going on recently, and just a plethora of great information in those emails every single day. And it's really easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com, click that little green login button. It'll prompt you to set up a free account. They're going to ask you for your name and your email address. That's it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day, just jam-packed with great sports betting information. So definitely make sure that you are getting in on that. Also, get over to stumpthespread.com and pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie. We're selling them right now at cost. They're $40. That includes free shipping, and it usually takes about 7 days to get to your address of choice. So definitely get in on that if you are interested in picking up a Stump the Spread hoodie. And guys, I know I owe my YouTube channel members a giveaway. Once I'm all the way well, we're definitely going to do a giveaway. We'll probably do a double giveaway. I feel like I owe you guys a little bit extra since the giveaway will be late, but click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos. They get their name up on screen in every single video, and they get access to those members only giveaways that we do every single solitary Monday, unless I am deathly ill, which is what was going on yesterday. So definitely become a YouTube channel member. Big shout out to all the YouTube channel members. So many of you guys checked in on me while I was sick. Really appreciate every single one of you. we're going to be making it up to you with those giveaways here in the next couple days once we're a little bit closer to 100%. But big shout out to all of you. Make sure you guys have hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're new around here. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and checking out everything over there. And let's go ahead and dive back into the rest of this NBA slate. We got quite a few more games to go. Next up, we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks heading to Miami to take on the Heat. The Hawks come into this game 24-27 on the season. They've lost their last 2 in a row, losing to the Pacers and the Rockets. Turns out trading away Trae Young didn't really make that big of a difference to this team. Neither did picking up CJ McCollum. It looks like the Hawks are maybe just mid. I don't know what to tell them, guys. It's looking pretty middle of the road. McCollum put up 18 points off the bench. Cool. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 21. Jalen Johnson had 33. And they lost by 5 points to the Indiana Pacers. This is not a serious team right now. I don't know if that's going to change here around the trade deadline. They have been missing Okongwu. Porzingis, shocker of the year, has not been able to stay on the floor dealing with that Achilles issue. Apparently, he's questionable for this game. We'll see. I would be pretty shocked to see him play. Other than that, they are healthy, but like I said, that hasn't been making a huge difference. The Heat, they come into this game fresh off of a third straight game against the Bulls. They won the first one, lost the second one, and then won the third one, 134-191. This team, we'll see if they're trying to make any sort of major moves here at the trade deadline. Going to be interesting to see. In their last game, that win over the Bulls, things looked good. Bam had a big night, 20-9. We liked what we saw just pretty much up and down the lineup. Pele Larson had a big night off the bench from Kel'el Ware. He played great. Hamiakas Jr. played well. We didn't see Norman Powell playing this game, so he could have a little bit more firepower in this one potentially if he's able to come back. Hero still missing time, obviously. Norman Powell still on the injury report. He's dealing with personal reasons now. It was back spasms, so we'll see what happens with that. And Hero dealing with that rib issue will not play. Looking at the numbers here, the Heat are 4.5-point favorites at home. We got a total of 238.5. Atlanta is 16-12 against spread on the road, 12-14 against spread after a loss. Miami's 14-11 against spread at home, 11-15 against spread coming off of a win. This is a little bit of a tough spot. I really don't like what I've been seeing from the Hawks here recently, so I will side with the Heat at -4.5. I do think it's a decent spot for them, especially playing at home. I think they could find a way to take advantage of a Hawks team that feels a little bit disjointed, but with Norman Powell questionable, that does make me a little bit worried. So keep this one on the back burner, but I do still think the Heat are the side you want. Next up, guys, finally making it to our first nationally televised game of the night. We got the Boston Celtics heading to Dallas to take on the Mavericks on Peacock. Now, the Celtics, they're 31-18 on the season. They've won 3 out of their last 4, taking down the Bucks very comfortably their last time out, which, does make sense. Obviously, Milwaukee in hell right now, if we're being completely honest. A big game from Jaylen Brown, solid contributions from guys like Derek White. Anthony Simons had a monster game. Seems like he's a very meaningful piece for this team coming off the bench. So we'll see what they want to do with him, heading forward into this season. The injury report looks very, very clean. Everybody for the Celtics is rested, healthy, and ready to go. So a lot of good stuff happening in Boston right now. They are headed to Dallas, taking the Mavericks, who are 19-30 on the season, coming off that 111-107 loss against the Rockets. Jason Kidd getting in trouble for going after the refs. Fair enough. We see this throughout every NBA season, basically. It was impressive to see the Mavs keep things that competitive with the Rockets, I will say. Cooper Flagg is really delivering on all the promise that he showed us coming into this year. He put up 34 points, a very, very good night from him. Max Christie is putting in good contributions for this team. Gafford being back is helpful. Brandon Williams had 13 coming off the bench for them. Not great night from Clay. As a team, they shoot 43% from 3. That's not going to happen every night, but when it does, they can keep things very, very competitive. The injury report, PJ Washington probably not going to be available, and Brandon Williams on there as well. Yeah, PJ Washington ruled out with that knee issue, and Brandon Williams dealing with a lower leg problem is questionable for this game. Now, looking at the numbers, the Mavs are getting 7.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 223.5. Boston, they're 15-10 against spread on the road, 11-7 against spread after a loss. Dallas, they are 16-12 against spread at home, 15-14 against the spread after a loss. So we'll see. Boston's not coming off a loss. They're coming off of a win in this game. Looking at those numbers, guys, Dallas getting 7.5 is a little bit intriguing in terms of whether these teams are playing on the front half of a back-to-back or anything like that. Boston is. They play at Dallas, and then they play at Houston. So I actually think taking the Mavs and the points here is fairly reasonable. Boston is a really good team, but I do think they could maybe let their foot off the gas just a hair here against Dallas and, let the Mavs keep this thing to a couple possession game. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls heading to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. The Bulls are 24-26 in the season. They've had a little bit of a rough time losing 4 out of their last 5. Didn't really get the best too often there of the Heat in that 3-game series. In that 134-91 blowout loss, not a lot of things went right. Obviously, it's kind of hard to get blown out that hard, and you shoot 15% from 3, you get out-rebounded. Just nobody had a very good night out there for the Bulls. So they're definitely in a pretty big bounce-back spot. They have shown some flashes this season for sure. They do come into this game a little bit banged up, kind of as usual for this squad. Josh Giddey will be out for this game dealing with that left hamstring strain, so that really sucks. Trey Jones, he is apparently going to be missing time for this one as well due to that hamstring issue. Kevin Huerter and Jalen Smith are both on the injury report as well. Huerter dealing with the back issue is questionable, and Jalen Smith is questionable due to that right calf cramping that he's had going on. So we'll see who they even have to put out there. I mean, still Kobe White, Okoro, Buzelis, and Vooch should be ready to go. So they've got some pieces here as they take on the Bucks, who are on a 5-game losing streak. They're dealing with all kinds of stuff with that Giannis trade demand. They're coming off that pretty solid loss there to the Celtics. Not a lot going right. Ryan Rollins had 25, I guess, but the bench looks just so thin, and I don't know. There's just not a lot of things to feel good about. Kyle Kuzma having to be one of your primary scorers is a big problem. So we'll see what the Bucks can do here, see what they can get for the Giannis trade that is seems inevitable at this point. Kevin Porter Jr. and Gary Harris will both be out for this game, so not exactly a great look here for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're getting 2.5 points at home. We got a total of 226.5. The Bulls are 11-13 against spread on the road, 11-14 against spread after a loss. Milwaukee's 8-13 against spread at home, 13-15 against spread after a loss. I cannot in good conscience recommend anybody bet on the Milwaukee Bucks right now. So give me the Bulls here at -2.5, even though they're banged up. I think they find a way to take care of business here, despite the fact they're playing on the road. I do feel like they are the much better team, even when they're far from being fully healthy. This is also the front half of a back-to-back for the Milwaukee Bucks, so I think we really strongly have to consider the Chicago Bulls in this spot. Rounding the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Orlando Magic heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. The Magic are 25-23 on the season. They're coming off a tough 8-point loss there in San Antonio. So their trip down to the West, I guess is what you would call it. Not off to a great start. Paolo was okay in that game, 19 points, 25 from Bane. Bane needs to learn to chill a little bit. He's getting a little bit too crazy with those flagrant fouls lately. Nobody playing particularly well off the bench. They just don't have, it just doesn't feel like they have enough production. Jalen Suggs had a terrible shooting night. So did Anthony Black. You just can't find enough offense for this team, and they're just never fully healthy, it doesn't feel like. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do in this game, see who they're actually going to have available. It seems like it's going to be the normal squad. Everybody's healthy. No Franz Wagner, guys. He continues to deal with that ankle issue. That's going to keep him sidelined for this game. But Suggs, Bane, Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., all healthy and ready to go. Anthony Black ready to go as well. So we'll see what they can do here. It's a pretty tough test heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder, who are coming off a 121-111 win there over the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, it wasn't the full-strength Thunder or the full-strength Nuggets, and the Thunder, they do come away with the win. They shoot the lights out in that game, honestly. Go shoot 40% from 3, although the number was even crazier earlier in the game. Cason Wallace had the night of his life, going 7 of 11 from three-point range. He was absolutely shooting the lights out. SGA had a very good night. He was a +22, shot 13 free throws. That's what we all know he needs to get going. The bench is mediocre sometimes still. Jalen Williams playing minutes off the bench. He actually looked okay. Aaron Wiggins had a big night off the bench as well. He was part of that hot shooting night. I mean, the Thunder will definitely take it. They've been playing well. Having Hartenstein back is certainly helpful for them. They really need his size in there. They'll probably kind of need it in this matchup too, maybe not quite as bad as they needed it against the Nuggets, that's for sure. So we'll see what the Thunder can conjure up for this one. They are very banged up coming into this game as per usual. Lots of guys on the injury report. J-Dub will still be sidelined for this one. AJ Mitchell, Alex Caruso also going to be out. SGA is on the injury report dealing with a finger issue, is technically questionable. I'd be a little bit surprised if he doesn't play. Holmgren is questionable due to low back spasms. We also see Hartenstein is questionable with that calf issue. He really might set this one out. And yeah, officially no J-Dub in this game for them. Let's double check on AJ Mitchell and Caruso, make sure they're definitely not playing. Caruso is technically doubtful. So other than that, they're definitely not playing. So it's going to be the shorthanded Thunder here. We'll see. A lot of question marks. They're still 7.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 220.5. Orlando's 8-15 against spread on the road, 11-11 against spread after a loss. The Thunder are 12-13 against spread at home, 18-20 against spread after a win. We need more information on who's actually going to be available for the Thunder. If they are really this banged up, like if we're going to see SGA, if we see SGA sit this game out, give me the Magic on the money line immediately without even thinking about it. So keep an eye on that injury status. I do expect SGA to probably end up playing in this game, and that will kind of keep things a wash in this one. But if he sits out, immediately slam it on the Orlando Magic. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. The Suns are 30-20 on the season. They're coming off a very weak performance there against the Clippers. Really nothing went right for them in that game. Kawhi got off on them. Dylan Brooks took 20 shots, scores 22 points. Grayson Allen took 21 shots, scores 23 points. It was just not the best night. They do shoot 41% from three, but they get crushed on the glass. They really didn't have anybody out there to contend with. Zubac, who put up 20 boards on them. It was just a rough night out there for the Suns. They're going to be trying to bounce back here pretty quickly. This has been a really tough, gritty team this year. They've been one of the big surprises in the NBA, so got to give them major props, major credit coming into this game. Unfortunately for them, not very healthy. We see Devin Booker and Jalen Green both on the injury report. Booker, dealing with that ankle issue, has officially been ruled out, will not play in this game, and I don't blame him. They want to make sure he's fully healthy. Jalen Green, dealing with his hamstring and hip issue, is questionable for this one. I'd be a little bit surprised to see him play in it either. So we'll see what things look like here as they head to Portland to take on the Trailblazers, who are 23-27 on the season. They've now dropped 5 games in a row, hitting a bit of a rough patch. Losses to the Cavs, Knicks, Wizards, Celtics, and Raptors over that span. Things just have not looked the same. They have dealt with some injuries and stuff like that, but not enough to really justify all of this. Shadion Sharp, he had an okay game there against Cleveland, nothing special. Donovan Clingan's putting up good rebounding numbers and good numbers in general. I got to give him some credit. Jeremy Grant's back and playing okay, but this team has just not been at 100% lately. And once they're back to 100%, they can get back to being a pretty dangerous team, but you need guys like Drew Holiday and Denny Adjeva especially to be healthy. And Drew Holiday, dealing with some personal issue, is questionable for this game. Denny Adjeva, dealing with his back, is doubtful for this one. So that's not really great news here for the Blazers. They're getting 4.5 points here at home, which really tells me these guys are not expected to play. We've got a total of 219.5. Phoenix is 16-10 against spread on the road, 13-6 against spread after a loss. Portland 15-10 against spread at home, 14-12 against spread after a loss. Guys, I'll definitely take the Suns to bounce back in this one. Portland's a good team, but not when they're not healthy. I definitely think the Suns are the way you want to go in this one, despite the fact they're playing on the road, but they've been very solid on the road this year, so I'm not too scared about that, and they're a great team to back when coming off of a loss. All right, guys, that's all the games we have for today. Do me a big favor and hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and hit that thumbs up button to help keep me feeling better. Big shout out to all of you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Love all the new subscribers we've been getting lately. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I will be back in the comments, in a much bigger way than I have been this whole time. I've been sick. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Get in on all the free picks over there. Get in on that email newsletter, especially. Make sure you're not missing out on the premium stuff either, guys. Those premium picks can pay for themselves very, very quickly. And a 1-0 NBA night, if you signed up for a premium membership and bet $40 on that one pick, boom, you immediately paid for your week of premium picks, just one winning pick. So definitely consider signing up for a premium package over there, guys. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.